A very warm good morning to all. I am Dr. Bharti Prakash, Associate Professor, Department of Zoology, SPC, Government College, Ajmer. Dear students, we have studied a number of systems in the previous classes and their functions in the regulation of body activities. For example, we studied the nervous system, which acts through the electrical impulses and neurotransmitters to cause muscle contraction and glandular secretions. But we saw that their effect is of short duration, measured in seconds, and effect is also localized. Whereas the endocrine system, which we will study today, acts through chemical messengers called hormones that influence growth, development, and metabolic activities. The action of endocrine system is measured in minutes, hours, or even weeks and is more generalized than the action of the nervous system. So, the two major categories of glands in the body are the exocrine gland and the endocrine glands. So, let us begin with our physiology of endocrinology, in which today we will start with the structure of pituitary gland. Most glands of the body deliver their secretions by means of ducts. We have already seen this, and these are the exocrine glands. The exocrine glands have ducts that carry their secretions to a surface. These glands include the sweat glands, the sebaceous glands, and the mammary glands, and also the glands that secrete digestive enzymes. Other glands manufacture chemical substances which they secrete into the bloodstream for transmission to various target organs. These are the endocrine glands or the ductless glands, which the endon in Greek means within and krinen means to secrete. The secretions which they produce do not leave the gland through a duct or a canal but pass directly from the cells into the blood streams. These glands do not have ducts, in other words, to carry their product to a surface. They are called the ductless glands. The hormones are secreted directly into the blood and then carried throughout the body, where they influence only those cells that have receptor sites for the hormones. The study of these glands and their hormones is called endocrinology, and the secretions that are produced by the endocrine glands are called hormones. The term hormone was first introduced in 1904. The word is derived from a Greek word hormone meaning to excite, to arouse, or to set in motion. The secretions are prompted by a stimulus and have an activating influence on the neighboring or distant tissues. They constitute a mode of communication between the cells, a mode of regulation of cell machinery, and also a channel for integration and coordination in multicellular organisms. The internal environment of the body is controlled partly by the autonomic nervous system and partly by the endocrine glands. The hormones secreted by the ductless or the endocrine glands are mainly excitatory in nature, stimulating activity in other organs. Let's start with the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is a reddish grey oval structure about 10 mm in diameter. It is located in the brain just behind the optic chiasma as an extension from the floor of the hypothalamus. It is lodged in the sphenoid bone, a depression called the sella turcica or the hypophyseal fossa. In man, it weighs about zero point 0.5 grams. Coming to its structure, the pituitary gland has a dual origin. Both the components are derived from ectoderm. The two portions are the adenohypophysis and the neurohypophysis. The adenohypophysis arises from the roof of the buccal cavity. It arises in the form of an outgrowth called the Rathay's pouch. But very soon it loses its connection with the buccal cavity. It is composed of three parts: the pars intermedia, the pars distalis, and the pars tuberalis. Whereas the neurohypophysis, it originates as a downgrowth from the floor of the diencephalon in the forebrain. It comprises of the infundibulum or the neural stalk and the pars nervosa or the neural lobe. It remains attached to the brain by an infundibulum or the pituitary stalk. Here is the structure of the pituitary gland. We can see it has two parts. This is the anterior pituitary and this is the posterior pituitary. The anterior pituitary consists of three portions: the pars tuberalis, the pars distalis, and the pars intermedia. We can see here. And the posterior pituitary, it has the neural stalk or the infundibulum and the infundibular process or the pars nervosa. The functions of pituitary. The pituitary gland is often described as the master gland of the endocrine system. Why? Because it secretes a number of hormones which regulate and control the activity of other endocrine glands. So, these are the various hormones that are secreted by the pituitary gland. The green arrows show the hormones secreted by the anterior pituitary and the purple ones are those of the posterior pituitary. These hormones affect various other, their secretions target various other endocrine glands and other tissues and they respond accordingly. So we will study the various hormones of the pituitary gland and their effects on their target organs in the future classes.